Hello and welcome to Raju Notes channel, your pit stop for weekly current affairs updates. The updates tailor-made for students taking all kinds of competitive exams like UPSC, civils, defense and placement interviews. Please subscribe to the channel and stay updated every Sunday. In the United States, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has arrested 8 Khalistani terrorists across the country in a major crackdown on an international terror network. Among them is Paviter Singh Batala, a Punjab based gangster wanted by India's National Investigation Agency for terror activities linked to banned group Babbar Khalsa International. In June, NIA had named Batala along with Jatinder Jyoti and designated Babbar Khalsa International terrorist Lakhbir Landa in a charge sheet. The arrest followed a multi agency investigation with Special Weapons and Tactics team detaining them. According to Indian intelligence, all suspects are part of a gangster terror network. The FBI also seized firearms, ammunition, and cash during searches. Authorities said the group faces multiple felony charges, including kidnapping, torture, false imprisonment, conspiracy, witness intimidation, and assault with semi automatic firearms, along with gang related enhancements. North Korean leader Kim Jong un has reaffirmed Pyongyang's unconditional support to Russia's action in the war against Ukraine. Stating that both nations share identical views on all key strategic matters, Kim made these remarks during a meeting with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Wonsan as part of Lavrov's 3 days visit to North Korea. The two sides held their second strategic dialogue, reinforcing cooperation under a partnership treaty signed last year, which includes a mutual defense pact. Mr. Lavrov praised the alliance as an invisible fighting brotherhood and thanked Kim for North Korea's military support, including the deployment of troops and arms to aid Russian war efforts. Sri Lankan President Dr. Harini Amarasuriya and Indian High Commissioner Santosh Jha have jointly inaugurated 90 newly built houses in Elifatagam village, Anuradhapura. The houses were built under the Indian Assistant Sri Shobita Nahimigam project. At the event, Indian High Commissioner spoke about the shared vision of India and Sri Lanka for inclusive development. He also mentioned that the Indian supported projects in the region such as railway upgrades and the Sacred City complex. Prime Minister Amarasuriya paid tribute to the legendary Ven, Madhu Alave Shobita Thiro. She expressed gratitude for India's support to uplift disadvantaged communities. The project is seen as a significant step towards strengthening development cooperation between the two countries. Supported by over 450 million Sri Lankan rupees from India, it involves the construction of 115 houses and essential facilities, transforming Elifatgama into Sri Sobita Nihami Magam. President Draupadi Murmu has nominated eminent lawyer Ujjwal Devarao Nikam, social worker C. Sadananda Master, former Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringala, and historian and academician Dr. Meenakshi Jain to the Rajya Sabha. In a notification, the Ministry of Home Affairs informed about the decision. Mr. Nikam, who hails from Maharashtra, has served as government counsel in Mumbai's terror attack case. C. Sadananda Master from Kerala has a long career in education. He has been a victim of political violence and lost both his legs. Mr. Shringla has also served as an ambassador to the United States, Bangladesh, and Thailand. He served as a chief coordinator for India's G20 presidency in 2023. Dr. Jain has served as an associate professor for history at Gargi College, University of Delhi. The President nominates 12 persons to the upper house of a parliament for their contribution towards art, literature, science, and social services. The World Health Organization WHO has recognized India's pioneering efforts in integrating artificial intelligence with traditional medicine, particularly Ayush system. In its first ever technical brief titled Mapping the Applications of Artificial Intelligence in Traditional Medicine, WHO document highlighted India's advancement in applying AI to Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Sova Rigpa, and homeopathy. AI powered tools are facilitating the cataloging and semantic analysis of ancient text, making therapeutic knowledge more accessible. The WHO brief also recognizes India's use of AI in drugs action pathway identification, comparative studies across traditional systems, and the development of artificial chemical sensors to evaluate traditional parameters like rasa, guna, and virya, modernizing traditional formulations. The WHO commended India's broader efforts, including digital platforms for online consultations, promoting digital literacy among Ayush practitioners, and creating interoperable systems to integrate traditional medicines and mainstream healthcare. The brief also noted the oil sector's contribution to India's economy, with a market size of 43.4 billion US dollars, underscoring its role in driving economic growth. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision to leverage AI for social development and inclusive growth has driven India's advancement in this field. Indian astronaut Subhanshu Shukla and three other crew members of Axiom 4 mission safely returned to Earth after their 18-day historic mission aboard the International Space Station. The SpaceX Dragon spacecraft splashed down in the Pacific Ocean off coast of San Diego in California. The crew will undergo a 7-day rehabilitation program to adjust to the Earth's gravity. HEM 4 mission Space Odyssey began on 25th of last month when the Falcon 9 rocket carrying the Dragon space capsule blasted off from Florida towards the International Space Station. Group Captain Shukla is the first Indian to visit the International Space Station ISS and the second Indian astronaut after Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, who went into the space in 1984. During his stay aboard the ISS, Mr. Shukla conducted 7 Indian specific microgravity experiments. These experiments are designed to generate critical data for future planetary missions and long duration space habitations. This mission, dubbed Akash Ganga, is a collaborative effort between Axiom Space, US Space Agency NASA, and Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO handed over 6 strategic, indigenously developed and developed products to the Indian Navy. These are Gamma Radiation Aerial Surveillance System, Environmental Surveillance Vehicle, Vehicle Radiological Contamination Monitoring System, Underwater Gamma Radiation Monitoring System, Dirt Extractor and Cross Contamination Monitor, and Organ Reactivity Detection System. The Secretary of the Department of Defense Research and Development and Chairman DRDO handed over these products to Rear Admiral Sriram Amur, Assistant Chief of Naval Staff, at special ceremony held at Defense Laboratory, Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Japan has expressed readiness to resume peace talks with Russia when conditions allow. In an interview with state run agency, Japanese ambassador to Moscow, Akira Muto, said that it is necessary to conclude a peace treaty by resolving territorial issues between the two countries to build stable relations. He described Japan as Russia's natural partner and neighbor, recalling President Putin's openness to dialogue. Muto also voiced support for US efforts to resolve Ukraine's conflict and welcomed a possible US Russia summit. Ties between the two countries worsened after Japan imposed sanctions over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In response, Moscow suspended peace treaty talks, accusing Japan of taking a hostile stance. The main obstacle remains the decade long dispute over the southern Kuril island, known in Japan as Northern Territories. The Union Cabinet has approved the Prime Minister Dhanadhanya Krishi Yojana to enhance agricultural productivity. The scheme aims to increase crop diversification and sustainable agricultural practices, augment post harvest storage, improve irrigation facilities, and facilitate the availability of credit. Briefing media in New Delhi after the cabinet meeting, Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said 100 districts will be identified in the country under the scheme, which will be based on 3 key indicators: low productivity, low cropping intensity, and less credit disbursement. It said the scheme will be implemented throughout the coverages of 36 existing schemes across 11 departments and other state schemes. Mr. Vaishnav said The scheme will help 1 crore 70 lakh farmers of the country. The United States State Department has designated the Resistance Front (TRF), the group behind the April 22 Pahalgam terror attack, as a terrorist organization. In a statement, US Secretary of State Mark Rubio said the Trump administration has declared the TRF as foreign terrorist organization and specially designated global terrorist. He said the move demonstrates that the Trump administration's commitment to protecting our national security interests, countering terrorism, and enforcing President Trump's call for justice for Pahalgam attack. TRF, a Lashkar-e-Taiba front and proxy, claimed responsibility for April 22nd Pahalgam terror attack, which killed 26 civilians. TRF has also claimed responsibility for several attacks against Indian security forces, including most recent in 2024. The State Department has also reviewed maintenance of the FTO designation of Lashkar-e-Taiba. India has successfully test fired nuclear capable short range ballistic missiles Prithvi 2 and Agni 1 from integrated test range in Chandipur off the Odisha coast, demonstrating its strategic deterrence capacity. The defense minister said the test firing of these missiles concluded by the Elite Strategic Force Command validated all the operational technical parameters. On Wednesday, India successful test fired the indigenous developed Akash Prime missile in Ladakh. The Prithvi 2 missile has a range of around 350 kilometers and is capable of carrying a payload of up to 500 kgs. It can carry both conventional as well as nuclear warheads. The Agni 1 missile has a range of 700 to 900 kilometers and it can carry a payload of 1000 kgs. Both Prithvi 2 and Agni 1 missiles have been an integral part of India's nuclear deterrence. Indian Navy will commission its first indigenous diving support vehicle DSV INS Nistar at Vishakhapatnam this week. The name Nistar originates from Sanskrit and it means liberation, rescue, or salvation. Nistar represents a major step forward in India's pursuit of Atmanirbhar in defense manufacturing. With contributions from 120 MSMEs and more than 80% indigenous content, the vessel stands at a testament to India's capacity to construct technologically advanced platform that meets global standards. Displacing more than 10,500 tons, the vessel is nearly 120-meter long and 20-meter wide. Its primary role includes deep sea diving operations and rescue missions for distressed submarines. The ship features an advanced diving complex spread across multiple decks and is outfitted with cutting edge systems to support saturation diving missions, enhancing its underwater operational capabilities. Nistar is equipped with remotely operated vehicles ROVs and functions as a mothership for the Deep Submergence Rescue Vehicle DSRV. India has achieved a significant milestone by successfully destroying two aerial high speed unmanned targets at high altitude in Ladakh by Akash Prime, which is upgraded variant of Akash weapon system for Indian Army. The weapon system is customized to operate at an altitude of 4,500 meters and has the latest upgrades, including indigenously developed radio frequency seeker. Based on the operational feedbacks from users, various upgrades are made to improve the operational effectiveness, demonstrating the advantages of the ecosystem created for the indigenous weapon system. Army Air Defense and DRDO, in conjunction with defense PSUs such as Bharat Dynamics Limited, Bharat Electronics Limited, and other industry partners, have successfully validated the indigenously designed and developed Akash Prime weapon system. Pakistan, Uzbekistan, and Afghanistan inked a trilateral agreement on a key rail project which aims to connect the three countries. In a statement, Kabul Foreign Minister said that the agreement was signed between Afghanistan's Ministry of Public Works, Uzbekistan's Ministry of Transport, and Pakistan's Minister of Railways. The project aims to build a rail link to facilitate access to Pakistan's seaport for Central Asian states. A separate statement from Pakistan's foreign minister said that by facilitating regional trade and transit, the project is expected to promote regional stability, growth, and development. The proposed 640 kilometers line aimed to link Uzbek border with Hairatan on Afghan side, extending to eastern city of Logar via Kabul before entering Pakistan border district of Kurram via Karlachi. They agreed to remain engaged to achieve the full potential of regional economic development, including through the realization of trans regional connectivity projects. The Indian Navy will take part in the 32nd edition of Simbbeck, the Singapore India Maritime Bilateral Exercise, previously known as Exercise Lion King, later this month in Singapore. This long running annual exercise is held between Indian Navy and Republic of Singapore Navy. India's High Commissioner to Singapore, Shilpak Ambule, called it one of the longest uninterrupted maritime drills for India. He said the exercise supports India's Vision Sagar and Act East policy focus on regional cooperation and maritime security. Ambule stressed the need for joint efforts in the maritime safety, especially with the rising threats like piracy and non state actors. He said cooperation at the sea is a key to ensuring free and safe trade routes. He added that the recent complex HARD and SAR operations that the Indian Navy has actively steered and very successfully concluded in the Arabian Sea has been internationally appreciated.
Well, that's all, friends, for this week's updates. See you soon next Sunday on the same channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye.